Yes, please. Ollie, oxen free. Ollie, oxen free.
Gotcha.
Okay, we got sound.
What's up, UBG? We can hear you.
Very good, very good. Who's that? Who is that?
Michael.
Oh, hello to the Scantlins. How are y'all today?
It wasn't Scantlin.
Oh,
It's Pindia, I guess.
okay.
Sorry if I mispronounced your name.
Okay, can you guys hear Miss Christina tonight?
No.
Okay, I'll just start by saying that it's going to be a different night tonight. It's going to be back to the old ways tonight because everybody in the area has got a little bit of the croup. So Miss Presley's under the weather and Kenny's been working a lot, and I've been half sick for about 5 days, and so we're doing this. Me and Christina are doing this by ourselves today. Again, for the first time in a long time.
Jeff asks, is a new garage done?
The new garage is up, but it's not done. And we might this week be pulling the trigger on the lift. And I went and got a load of supplies to put insulation in, things like that. So it's a progress. It's going into progress. Okay.
Yeah,
so
one guy at a time makes it go slow.
Yep. And but it's coming along. It's coming along. I'm really happy, and it's starting to actually come useful. Okay.
Jeff says, cool. Can't wait to see what you've done.
Yep. Okay. I can do one of those. I can do a walkthrough here in a week or two. Before we get started, I have to, of course, shout out to the sponsors. B&A Engine Works out of Van Buren, Arkansas, Miss Santana. Their information is down below. Check that out. And let's see, we're still affiliates of Summit and JEGGS. Links for those are down below. If you guys do any ordering this spring for your projects, think about going through the link and help out the channel. And like I said, we're always selling t-shirts and stuff. So, I mean, if you guys want to help out, it'd be really appreciated. Okay, so all last week, since last Tuesday, I was thrashing all week to get Bam ready for the drag strip, which we got to. We got to the drag strip and had a great time. I had forgotten how fun going down the drag strip really is. I missed it terribly. I didn't realize I was missing it, until I made that first pass, and I was like, oh, that's what that felt like. I missed that feeling. I missed that adrenaline rush and that sense of accomplishment because I worked on that truck for 1.5 years to get it down the drag strip. That nervousness. I was really fretting that first pass. I mean, I've driven it on the street and took it down the road. I have a bridge about a half a mile down the road, nice concrete, brand new bridge, that I use as the launching pad just for fun, and then come back to the house. That way, if I get popped, I'm just, a half a mile from the house. And done a couple, and felt completely safe in it, but it was different. It's different lining up at the drag strip. It's a whole different vibe.
Presley took it down.
Yeah. Yep. Presley made a pass in it. Yes, she did. And she got about 3/4 of the way down, and I kind of warned her that once you get over in when you're decelerating, it tries to like walk just a little bit, because I mean I ain't quite got it perfect. It's pretty close, but and I got this little bitty steering wheel on it, old school baby, and that kind of freaked her out a little bit. But I mean, it's safe and it runs good, and every pass. I did 5 or 6 or 7 passes.
Yeah, you did.
And every pass it seemed to run better. But there was no way to get that one wheel wonder to hook up because it would haze the tire, get moving, get about 100 foot out, and get off the rubber and get on the concrete and haze again. I mean, I was spinning twice every run, and still came in second. You know, there wasn't a lot of us, but it still came in second. You know, and got $60 back out of my entry fee. You know, I mean, that was cool. Had a great time. Saw people I hadn't seen in forever. You know, Kenny and the boys and Presley, everybody showed up. You know, and good friend of mine from back in the day was there, and his son was there, and Kenny and him hadn't seen each other in years. You know, it was really cool, and he was running a car, and you know, it was really, really a lot of fun. Did figure out 3 things though going to the track. Gonna have to get a helmet, but I'm gonna go around the local pawn shop, see if I can catch me a helmet somewhere on the cheap, because if you guys have priced helmets lately, they're not cheap. It is still a one-wheel wonder. So I need to get a posi unit or a locker in it, not a mini spool. I need something that's going to act like a posi tractor in, because I've had a race car with a mini spool, and it is not fun.
No,
it's not fun at all. And let me see. And the rear end that I had in the
your shifter.
Well, yeah, I got to adjust the shifter just a hair because it has a hard time getting back into park. The rear end that I've had in the garage that I've been talking about forever, pulled the cover, you know, got up on the table Sunday morning, pulled the cover off. I mean, I'm motivated now. Got the cover off of it. Come to find out, it's not a positive rear end. They had welded the spider gears, and they had done whatever they had done to it. When I tried to take it apart and pulled the pin, chunks just fell out of the carrier. I mean, the spider gears were all cracked and broken. So they had just boogered that thing. Now, good axles. The bearing surfaces on the axles look perfect. It's a good housing. I just gonna have to buy a set of spider gears, but did a little test on it, and it's a 273 rear end. Not good for the drag strip. So I've got a third truck, and I'm hoping that rear end, it's another 12 bolt, and I know I've jacked it up and I spun it, and it went both same direction, and I'm hoping it's a positive unit in it so that, you know, we can just clean it up and put some brakes on it and use it. All right. The third thing is I'm going to have to get a draggy, and a draggy is a GPS system that you put inside the truck, and it Bluetooths your phone. It basically does GPS, and it gives you your 60 foot, gives you your 330, your mile per hour, your time. Because I didn't do any tuning while we were there. Nothing. I just left the hood down and just started up and went and flogged it as hard as I could, and got beat by a guy with a car it was a beautiful car.
Yes, it was.
It was a very nice car, and him and his dad had spent 5 years building it, and it had a lot of money under the hood. It had aluminum heads. It was a Chrysler, had aluminum heads. I think it was a 440 with a you know, with headers and the whole 9 yards, you know, which is legitimate for the class. You know, he runs street tires, you know, but he had positive traction, and
What's the app called?
Draggy. It's called a Draggy, DRAGY, Draggy. And it's a sensor. It's about this big, and it goes anywhere in the cab, and it Bluetooths to your phone, and it tells you by GPS, like your GPS in your car, it narrows it down to that vehicle, your 60 foot, your reaction time, your 330, your 660, your mile per hour, your ET. It gives you all the information without even actually having to have a timing system. It's what all the street racers use these days. Everybody that's street racing uses a draggy now, because you can tune your car and know if it went slower or faster. Like I said, with that, Will says in Salsa, they don't have any timing system. They have a start and a stop brake beam, but they don't have a timing system. So it'll tell who wins. You know, a little light will light up on either side of the deal, who won, but you don't get any reaction time, no ETs, or nothing, just who came across the stripe first. And that video of everything that happened will be up Saturday, so you guys can watch it. And I hope you enjoyed the way I edited it, because I try to do it like everybody else does it with their comes their strikes, you know, the pulling up and swapping views and all that kind of good biz. I hope you guys enjoy it. It was a lot of fun to do.
Project Headquarters says good evening.
Good evening.
Michael Scantlin says hello, Uncle Buck.
Hello, Michael.
And Baller says evening.
Evening. Yeah, but no, I had forgotten how fun the drag strip really is. It's been 20 years. I almost got to go down 2 years ago, but then, they pulled me off because the power steering pump started leaking.
Because I broke it.
Yeah, because Christina broke it. And like I said, Presley made a run. She got out of the truck and she was like, the adrenaline was running, her hands were twitching. She's like, I'm like, she's hooked. Presley's hooked. Yeah.
Yep.
Kenny actually walked up to me and said, the kind of trouble you just caused. You know what you just did to me, right, Dad? Letting her make a run in the truck.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we had a good time. The boys had a great time. Wyatt was in from minute one. It took John a little while to get used to the noise, and then then after we were there for a little while, the hot rods started showing up.
Mm-hmm.
And just down here in the South, there's lots of pickup trucks and lots of 50s and 60s trucks that they make, build tube chassis for and everything, and they're slick, and they got blowers and two twin carbs, and they're doing the blower surge, vroom, 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 and Presley was like, "Ooh, what is that?"
Yeah,
had a good time. I mean, it was really worth the trip. I got sunburned. I don't know if you can see it on my face. My face woke up this morning and my skin on my face was all peeling off because I was sunburnt from Saturday. But it was worth it. It was so worth it. Had a great time. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it.
It was a lot of fun.
But so gotta go shopping for a hood, for a helmet, and get both tires pulling, and then get some way of testing it so we can tell if we're going faster or slower by jets and timing and all that kind of good biz. And we'll take you along for all that kind of good biz. But it's going to be a couple months, and we'll have another one. And it's going to be an ongoing thing, and because it was just so much fun. We had a good time.
Dave says, same here with the sunburn from Saturday.
Yep. Who?
Dave.
Oh, Dave, yeah. Oh, yeah, and Uncle Dave was there at the swap meet. They, along with the director, they had a swap meet. But yeah, I couldn't believe I got sunburned. I woke up Sunday morning. I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, I looked in the mirror. Oh, Lord, I got sunburned. Hi, Dean. But, all right. That is all my news. I don't have anything new. Got any questions? Anybody got anything they need to talk about? But yeah, I did catch somebody was on Marketplace looking at possible builds.
Who?
Presley.
Oh, was she? Oh, glad here you organized the strip you organized went amazing. Waller, yeah.
Yep, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Dingle, no. Somebody's looking for attention today. Come here, buddy. Here, over here, over here, over here. Come here. You want some loving?
Cruising with Kevin says evening.
Evening. But yeah, but Presley's under the weather. My daughter's under the weather, and I've been half sick for about 5 days. So, but I went anyways. I didn't care. I was going. And like in the video, you can hear it. I'm all congested in my sinuses and in my head, and my voice is funny, and I'm talking like this half the time.
Ed says looking for a 73 Camino.
73 El Camino. Dave, have you sold them El Caminos for that buddy of yours yet? The one that you had on Marketplace?
No.
Dingle, go lay down.
See, Project Headquarters says, what experience have you do you have installing? Sorry, I can't read that. Heavier, stiffer valve springs.
Well, depends on the application. I mean,
Any HP increase your experience?
Well, it depends on RPM range. With the heavier, the more stable springs, and at a certain point, then you need to go with a girdle and with polylocks and things like that, because of the deflection of the valve, the deals. I mean, it depends on RPM range. I mean, is this it just streetwise? I always buy springs to match the lift of the cam, no matter what, because the stuff is 50 years old, and the original stuff. You're taking a chance on that, but just the harmonics on it when it comes to art, when you get up past like 6,000 RPMs, you got to control that valve bounce. You got to control it, and then you go triple springs, high tensile, and then as things start deflecting, you got to make sure it's all girdled up, and that's why Jessel's rocker system is so popular, because it bolts everything down, doesn't let anything flex. But I've always stayed under 6,500 RPMs, even with the big block, and I didn't have a girdle with it, but I had like one step above what that cam called for in that big block, and it handled it just fine. Never got into float or anything, but I never pushed it past 6,500. But yeah, I think it's necessary once you get up a certain RPM range. Period.
Dave said he sold the 73, still has the late 70s ones. It's rough, no title.
Okay.
Cruising Kevin says, anyone around Fort Smith, Southsaw area have it 110V MIG for a sensible price. Every time I find one for a sensible price, it sells immediately.
Well, I just did a video for a new one I just got in. It's a dual. It'll do a MIG, it'll do flux core, and it'll do stick. It's a 2-in-1. I mean, and it's a nice little unit. I really like it, but it's extra. I mean, I got one. I got an extra one. Did a video on it a week ago Wednesday. Matter of fact, check it out. It really works better than I thought, but it's there's no gas involved. It's just flux core.
Shouldn't we be aiming for 6250 RPM, extra 1,000 for shift?
Say that one more time.
Shouldn't we be aiming for 6250 RPM, extra 1,000 for shift?
Possibly, if that's what you want to do with it.
Where'd you buy the unit from?
I didn't buy it. I got it sent to me to test it for him, and for me to make content for him. It's like I said, just go back in my things. I can't even remember the name of it. It's yellow, and it's on the market, and I got a link to it on Amazon on the listing. But it actually worked really good. It's plug and play, and it's got just one little dial, and it's got 2 modes. It's got stick mode and MIG mode. It's really a nice little unit. I was kind of impressed with it, how well it works. It's got a brand new spool of wire on it. Ready to go. Came with the kit.
He said he'll have to check it out.
Yep. Check it out. Let me know. You can always email me. But I'm going to be busy for pretty much the rest of the week. And then we're going up. We're traveling on Saturday, and then, Easter Sunday. And we're looking forward to the boys coming over for Easter. They're finally at that age where grandparents really like, because they're talking and walking and getting into stuff, and they were so much fun at the track. They were a lot of fun. Wyatt is he gravitates to loud cars. It's amazing to watch, but he's also a handful, because now he wants to go where he sees or noises, and I'm not as fast as he is. You gotta play pinball with the little sucker, because he's off, and you're like, Grandma, Nana, get him. Kenny, go get him. Somebody go get him. Somebody wrangle a little stinker. But then you get him in the cab, and he's like, he was in my truck for what, 10 minutes, if that, and then he had everything turned on. The The wind, I start truck up, the windshield wipers go off, and the heater's blowing hot, and he's got every button and whistle punched, and he's on there. He's grabbing shifters, and he's on the steering wheel, you know. And God, they're a lot of fun, you know.
HP and Torque Cross Max at 5250.
What?
HP Torque Cross Max at 5250.
We have a room full of dogs, and a cat just walked across the front door. Sorry about that. Minnie, leave the cat alone. Minnie.
Scanlon says Grandpapa needs a pair of running shoes.
Yeah, no kidding. I had him on, but he's faster than I am.
Project to answer your question, double springs lose horsepower, usually around 10 to 15, depending on the engine. But if you break one, it saves the engine.
Yeah, double springs. Say, well, hush. Now be quiet. Go lay down. Go lay down. But no, that guy at the drag strip with that really nice car, and you'll see it in the videos. I was on his bumper, but we ran twice just for fun. I mean, he beat me the first time, but I mean, we ran a second time, and I give it all the beans it would take. It was on the floor the whole way. I never lifted, and I was on his back bumper when we crossed the stripe. I mean, it was so much fun. Yeah. It was so much fun. So
if you hadn't spun, it would
have been closer. Yeah, I think he'd have had it. He had enough motor to like just kind of like give it a little whoop at the end.
Right, but yeah, as the guys were talking at the starting line, if you hadn't spun, it would have been a lot closer race.
Yeah. But like in the video, I got the video shooting out in front of the truck in the center of the dash with an old camera with an old phone, and he comes into the screen right at the end. I mean, he was right there. We were looking at each other through the windshield. He's looking back at me. I'm looking at him. He's looking back at me. I'm looking at him. You know, it's just, I didn't realize how much I missed it.
Raced at Willsley?
Willsies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Willsies. Yep. In Salisaw. Yep. It was, I'm still thinking about it. It's all I thought about since it happened, since we got done, you know. It was just so good. It was so fun.
Did anybody ever guess Christina's drag time?
No. I still have it on the deal. You know, I still have a T-shirt.
I think you just need to give it up.
I still have a T-shirt. Yeah.
I think you just need.
I'm still saucy about not getting a run and getting an actual time slip.
I forget what the time is.
Well, we can't say.
I think you should just go ahead because it's been a minute.
Well, it's been 18 months.
Yeah, so I think you should just.
Nah. Besides, that truck's already gone. But no, but the thing that blew my mind was how well it ran. The motor in that truck is out of one that I yanked out of the weeds. It's been sitting for years. And I just marvel, Mr. Oil, change the oil, run it, let it cool, run it, let it cool, run it, let it cool. Made sure all the valves were moving. It doesn't leak. It doesn't smoke. It runs like a scalded dog. It really, I mean, it's shocking how good it runs. And I haven't even run the valves on it. I just made sure they were moving before I turned it on.
Do you think that they'll get a timing system? I think that hurts turnouts there for sure.
Mark, the owner, wants to get it. He's working on it because he's missing out on a lot of traffic from bracket racing and index racing. So and you have to have a timing system for that. So sooner or later it'll hit, yeah. But I mean, right now he's only had it since May of last year, and so the middle of May will be actually a year of him owning it. So he had to fix plumbing, he had to fix electrical, he had to fix lighting, he had to fix all kinds of stuff. I mean, it had sat for several years and, growed up. And I mean, there's a patch past the finish line where they had to dig the whole thing up and do plumbing, and put concrete in. It's he's had to do a lot of work. But the one thing I didn't remember that it'd been 20 years since I've been down that track, and that return road is rough. It is rough. It will beat your teeth out of your head. I mean, you're bouncing up, then, and it's about this wide, but it still doesn't matter. It was just, I'm just so jazzed.
Let's see. Has to be a Chevy engine.
Has to be.
And
Yeah.
Jeff, 100%, 1,000%. And Kristen says, yeah, it takes time. It was a mess.
Yeah, it was a mess. It takes time. Yeah. But it's really, I mean, for the almost a year that he's had it,
it's coming around.
Yeah. It's pretty much back to the shape that I remember it 20 years ago, which is great. I mean, I got no issues with that track whatsoever. I mean, and it's run well and it's fun. And like I said, I didn't even think about it and needed a helmet, and they were willing to loan me a helmet. Now, my friend's son was running and he let me run his, but they would have given me a helmet to run. They keep extras just because, for that purpose, I mean, I should have known. I knew I needed to get seatbelt finished in it, but I should have known to have to, to get a helmet.
I didn't think you needed it for the street class.
Yeah, because we didn't have to have it in Centerville.
Right. Yeah, because I didn't have one.
Yeah, and none of us had one. And we, she made a full run, and I was about to make a run. He didn't pull me off the track because I didn't have a helmet. He pulled me off the track because I was leaking like a sieve, power steering fluid. So, I mean.
Exit says, late again, Uncle Buck.
Not a problem. We're just talking about the races that we went to Saturday. Came in second. There wasn't a lot of us, but I did come in second.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's now reminding me how much I missed it. Christina missed it too. And now the third generation's getting involved,
Yeah.
Ain't nothing cooler than having your grandson sitting in his little lawn chair in the back of your hot rod, eating chips, drinking Gatorade in between rounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. But I went with the expectation that if I blow this thing up, I got a brand new one sitting on this. I understand right now, ready to go, just get broke in. So, I mean.
What were you racing?
Bamalam, the 1980 Chevy short bed.
C10 in the picture, I assume?
Yep. C10 in the picture. Yep. Yep. Spinning and grinning the whole way, But, yeah, we had a good time.
Does the track have helmet date rules?
No, just not a helmet. I probably pretty much, I guess I could take an old football helmet and take the mask off. I didn't even take the mask off as long as you got a cover on your head. It's covered in seatbelts. And tech was springs on the carburetor, battery hold down, nothing leaking. And the class rules was 86 or older. No modified frame rails, had to be street tires, no drag radials, no slicks, no power adders of any kind, no LS or Coyote swaps. If it wasn't available from the factory with the engine, you can't run it, which means you can't run a big block in a Vega. You can run a small block in a Vega, but you can't run a big block. It was things like that. Got it, and you can change the shocks, but you can't use ladder bars. You can use slapper bars or cow tracks. That's it. It's just very basic, and it's like I said, this guy had a ton of money in his engine, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, aluminum headed. Go ahead.
Project says he has several here. He says he has to buy Cole a new one every 5 years.
Yeah.
Can you give us a look at the C10 live? And Dog Catcher says, greetings from Las Vegas. Exa says, so I've been busy this past week. I didn't get a chance to work on my 74. The weather has been ugly. And the project says, I have a couple I can spare. Send you one.
It's got to be a 2X because I got a big noggin. But yeah, no, they're not checking dates as long as you have a
Cover
for your noggin. Yeah, so your bucket is covered. Yeah, if you want to, I'd be very happy for that. Yeah, because I was going to go to the pawn shops this week on my lunch hours and see if I can find one in the area. Because man, they're pricey. I mean, if you buy a good one, you're spending dough.
Yeah.
Because back in 20 years ago, when we bought the one that I ran forever, that I gave away to a friend and never got back, I think I paid $109 for it back in the day.
Yeah. And now it's. I mean, just the cheap ones are like 200, and they go
229, 230.
Yeah. And then today I saw one that was over $2,000. I was like,
but it had all the electronics and all that stuff in it. Yeah.
Yeah. He says, I know they are XL.
What?
XL.
I think Cole's head is probably smaller than mine. I mean, I borrowed Tristan's, the one I borrowed, my friend's son. It's a 2X. Yeah. And it was a little bit, I couldn't get my sunglasses on in it, and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to have a 2. I appreciate the thought though, but we'll figure it out. But I mean, it is what it is. We'll be ready next time. But
he says that he gets to drive the car.
Yeah, we had a good time. I mean, like I said, that's all I'm thinking about now. I mean, it was kind of out of my system for a long time, and boy, this just stoked the fire again, big time. So, yep, time to have a spare tranny ready, time to have a spare rear end ready, time to have plans for this winter, ready for next season. Yeah, I'm all in. I'm like a duck on a June bug when it comes to stuff like this. Once I get the itch.
Yes.
Christina is too. Don't let her lie to you, because after the little escapade this weekend, she's like, well, I don't want just a mom daily driver Mustang. I want something with some get up in it. I want something that, fun to drive. So I kind of know, that's kind of the read between the lines. You guys that's been married for a long time, what that means is she wants a hot rod, but she wants a hot rod that you don't have to do anything special with. You just turn the key and put the key in.
That's right.
Yeah, but she wants a hot rod out of the Mustang, which isn't hard to do because they weigh nothing.
Mm-hmm.
You put a little small block in it with automatic transmission with a nice little gear ratio in it, and some 15-inch tires, about 235, 50, 65s, and yeah, it'd probably scoot pretty good because it won't weigh nothing.
Dr. Etcher said I scored a free 350 complete long block because I helped my friend tow his broke down. Where'd he go? Oh, it left.
Well, I'm telling you, I mean, that's, I do the videos where, I make a street strip engine that Project Headquarters owns now, or Cole does. I built it for $500 because I traded for most of the stuff, or I got the motor out of the weeds, and regasketed and things like that. I mean, the engine that's sitting on the stand, I traded for the engine, the rods, cranks, new pistons in a box, a whole package of things I traded for, not money out of pocket. Trading can be, or, doing some labor for somebody and getting something, for your labor. That can be a big plus.
So he says he scored a 350 long block because his friend's Ford truck broke down on the freeway, and so he had to go, and that's how he got it.
Yep.
And Caitlin says she wants a drag car. LOL.
No, she doesn't want a drag car.
I don't want a drag car.
See, I
want a car that, yes, it's nice to look at and I could just tool around, but if I want to put my foot down on it, it's going to go.
See, you guys don't know. She drives like Mario Andretti. I'm over there sucking wind and grabbing the oh shit handle, you know, and
No,
pushing
it's not that bad.
And pushing that emergency, the invisible emergency brake pedal. Okay, sometimes with her driving. So no, she's not gonna get something super hot. She's supposed to get something a little peppy, but she's not getting super hot. Because I know after all these years, I know how she drives, and it better have damn good brakes on it because she's gonna wait till the last minute to hit them.
No, that's
It's
only
going to have disc brake conversion all the way around, all four corners.
that's only because my brakes went out on this on my new car on my car.
Bullshit.
Oh, it did.
But no,
And it wasn't my fault.
I have this feeling it's going to be his and hers wrecking them in a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because even like when we went to the other racetrack last year, she got the bug. She got out of that truck, smile like this, and she was same thing. Had the adrenaline going. She was all happy. She's like, "Ooh, that was cool." It's addictive, and that's the great thing about hot rods. It doesn't matter how old you are. I mean, you can figure out ways. Like I said, the lift is probably going to be ordered this week. That you can make it easier on yourself as you get older to work on your stuff. I'm just tired of getting up and down off my back, off a creeper, off the floor 25 times to do something like I had to do with the exhaust on Bamalam to get to the drag strip.
Yeah.
That kind of messed me up. Because I don't heal as well as I used to. But that's what you get when you're about to turn 58.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. No matter what, you're always going to be younger than I am.
That's right.
Spring chicken.
I wouldn't know about that.
But no, life is good. I really don't have any complaints. Like I said, Easter's coming. We're gonna have a good time with Easter with the boys. So you guys got any questions right now? And while I'm thinking about it, just remember our sponsor, B&A Engine Works, Miss Santana and them. If you got engine work done, you can send it to them. They'll put it on a crate, send it back to you. They do great work. In fact, I have to go pick up the big block sometime next week when it's not raining. Santana, if you're listening to this on your way to work tomorrow, don't worry. I'm coming. I'm not going to come get a freshly, machined block in the rain. Just not going to do it. So I'll be there next week.
Pacer says, would you trust Summit lifters or should I spend that extra $70 on hardened AC Delcos?
Hardened AC Delcos. Don't trust. No Summit lifters. Nope. No way, no day. And I think the AC Delco lifters that I have in that new engine is the last set I'm going to do. I'm going to try with the big block. Santana, me and her had a long conversation about it. Santana has had a lot of good luck with Howard's Cams lifters. Okay. So I found a deal. I bought a whole valve train setup, roller rockers, poly locks, the whole 9 yards, push rods, everything for a big block. And I bought it for like next to nothing from a guy local. He was just trying to sell stuff off his shelf. And there are some really high end parts. But they're set up for flat flapper lifters. So we're going to run a set of Howard's lifters in that first big block. But after this big block build, then it's going to be retro roller from that point on. You can't trust it anymore unless somebody some company out there decides to break the market and take over the market and start producing good flat tappets again. Hardened, seats, that mic out correctly. Because Santana even says that she's micing all the lifters, make sure they have the right taper, but she says she hadn't had any problems with Howard's Cams yet, and that's the majority of the work that she does with anything flat tapping. She goes Howard's Cams.
Let's see here. Have to work on my 98. Let's see. Let's see, Bray, this afternoon, really think swapping a supercharger 3800. Shut up.
The cat is back. You guys are fixing it. Let's out of this room. Hush up, lay down.
Hustle said, evening, Gen 1 350, what mile cam you recommend? And what intake?
Gen 1 350, if you're running on the street, 60 to 68 degrees advertised duration with as close to 108 degrees lobe separation as you can. And intake would be a dual plane or an air RPM air gap, or Edelbrock dual plane of any, or a Viant dual plane, any dual plane of any kind. If you're going to go both directions with it, take it to the strip and drive it on the street, but leave it as a street car, then you could go 270, 280 duration, but you got to worry about running your brakes, which means I have one in the box for Bamalam, because Bamalam's brakes are a little bit wonky because they're a little bit tight, because I know there's more duration in the cam, but I don't know anything about it, but it's not got quite enough vacuum signal to run the booster right. So I'm going to actually, that's probably number 4, is put the vacuum canister on Bamalam so that the vacuum assisted brakes work correctly. So 260 to 268 on the street, 270 to 280 on the street strip, dual plane on the street. You could go 6,500 RPMs with an air gap. You could do that. Or you could go a Team G, or, open plenum, like an old Torquer or something like that, which is what I have on that engine right now. Because it's got a 296 duration cam in it. It's a big cam. And so it's going to be, like I said, once I blow this one up, the new engine's going to be more powerful than the one that's in it right now. And the one in it right now is great. That's what I would do, if that answers your question.
Exit says, I wish I could just leave a good running 3800 alone. LOL.
Yeah. Well, it's not in our nature to leave it alone. I mean, that's what the heartbeat of hot riding is making what you have work better. That's where all the innovation comes from. That's where all the great ideas have come from over the decades. I mean, that's what Ed Iskandarian did 100 years ago. As he was grinding cams from old cams to make things work better. He figured out how to do it over time. And that's innovation. And that's working with what you have to make it better, make it more efficient. That's the fun part. And then you can say, like I said in the video about we are way into the built not bought section on this thing when it comes to the exhaust. I'm not buying a lot of parts. We're reusing parts, just to save money. Cause I mean, I'm not rich by all means, but I've got a lot of friends that's got a lot of big piles of parts, and I can wheel and deal and do some trade-in, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't, but most generally it does, and making your own brackets and come up with ideas about things. Yeah, it can be done. Getting dark out there. What time is it?
7:40, or almost 7:48.
Nope. But I gotta admit, I'm gonna say this out loud. I hope he's probably not watching. He's probably at home asleep already. But I like doing these with Kenny. I do. I like doing.
Yeah, because I mean, with the 3 of you, Presley, Ken, and y'all are in here cackling up a storm while I'm in there with the boys, and I'm just, which I enjoy to no end. But it's kind of funny to hear you guys cackling and carrying on.
Well, Presley loves giving her father-in-law the one-liners. Mm-hmm. She loves giving me the jazz. She really does. And I enjoy her company immensely too. I mean, she's as close to my own kid as I could ever ask for, But no, it was funny to see her get out of that truck after making that run. And she's like, I almost wanted to just get right back in and do it again. I said, you should have. And held to the floor all the way through, that way you'd had a bigger smile on your face. But I can guarantee you, the next time we go, she'll make more than one run. Oh yeah. Christine will make a run. Kenny will make a run. That was the other great thing that I thought there would be an issue, because if you've ever been to the drag strip, you got to sign in. You don't hold them responsible signature thing, right? In case something happens. And I always assumed that my signature for that car and the number put on the car and the tech thing was just for me driving. No, it's for the car. You can have anybody that's above 18 years old run in that car. So Christina could have made a run, Kenny could have made a run, Presley could have made more, so that once you find that out, Presley jumped right in, put the seatbelt on, she was gone. But I had always, all those years, thought that signature was just allowing me to run, but it's not. It's just for the car. So yeah, if you have an old hot rod, you want to let your son run down a strip down. If you want to have your wife take a crack at it, your daughter-in-law or whatever, your kids, as long as they're over 18 years old, you're good to go. But that's in Sallisaw, that was great, but like I said, I can guarantee the next time we go, everybody's going to take a run. I'll have it in better shape. I'll have the shifter right. It's just a hair off of me. You got to kind of slam it up to get it to go into park sometimes. But then it's just, it clicks in just like normal. So it's just a hair off. But like I said, everything on it works. Seatbelts are good. Yeah, she's good to go.
Saw your YouTube video of a guy putting his Nissan 6-speed manual transmission 4.8 LS. It was super cool. All over was cheaper than the trim swap.
Yeah. He probably had to do some bell housing modifications for that deal. But no, yeah, if you're willing to put in the work and mic everything out and work out all the bugs, yeah, anything's possible. I can't remember the name of the group, but it's a bunch of guys from Russia, and they do things like I watched them do one a year ago about they made an intake manifold on a 4-cylinder that you could see where it was like made out of clear plastic, and you could see where the fuel went in the runners and stuff. And I thought that was cool as hell. Watching the fuel move around inside the intake going into the heads and everything. I can't remember the name of the YouTube channel, but it's they do all kinds of weird stuff, and it's not outlandish stuff. It's just like, well, what if we built the intake that you could see through, that you could see where the gas went from the carburetor into the engine, things like that, and they get millions of views because it's really interesting, because I don't know if you guys remember these, but 30, 40 years ago they came up with the see-through valve covers, so you could watch your valve train work as it was idling and running, things like that. Those were cool. They didn't last very long. I don't even know if they're available anymore. I don't know what kind of plastic they were made of. I'm sure after a little while, after heat, they kind of fogged up and didn't look good. But when they first came out in the market, they were kind of cool looking. I remember seeing it on Power Nation or something, or Horsepower TV. Remember the Nashville Network in the 80s and 90s? Horsepower TV. I think it was on there with the big Indian guy and the I can't remember the name of the blonde guy. He was on there for like 20 years back in the 80s and 90s. I can't remember his name, but yeah, they did a set of those. I thought that was I remember that. I thought they were cool.
Like I said, I'd like to see you get a gear vendor's overdrive unit and do all the install, match up, rear end, etc.
Yeah. Well, gear vendors, they're expensive and they're almost impossible to get. Apparently, they're back ordered for years because everybody wants them because they actually work. Because the drag and drive guys started using them heavily, and so everything got bought out. And so now you're waiting forever to get one. And you got them, and some of the floorboards, you got the tunnels, you got to modify them to get them to fit, things like that. But apparently they are plug and play, bolt them up, hot wire and a ground with a switch on the dash, and you have instant overdrive that will handle horsepower, and Vice Grip Garage had a new video last weekend where he bought a Winnebago. It had a gear drive, a vendor's gear drive on it, and made that RV, that 454 in the RV, go down to like 1,800 RPMs cruising down the highway at 65. I mean, an RV. So you can't tell me that they aren't robust and they don't work great, and that they can handle the power and the weight and the torque and everything, but that's way beyond my payroll, unless I hit the lottery. Now, if I hit the lottery, I'm not going to lie. If I hit the lottery, there's a lot of little trinkets that I would like to buy. I still film it, but I mean, that's one of those big wish list items.
I drive by gear vendors every day on the way to work. That's wake up breathing.
Yep. And it's going to last forever. I mean, it'll probably last longer than the transmission itself because they're just that well built.
Hi from Western Maryland. They work great until you forget to shut them off and leave them in reverse.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. While you guys are all here, since everybody's here right now, remember I need license plates. I need all 50 states license plates. My P.O. box is down in the bottom of the listing. I've got Kansas, Arkansas, Oklahoma. I got Texas covered. Got California covered. So I need everything else. And I'm going to pick a wall in the new shop and just lay them out, kind of like where they go. So, I need license plates. If you guys got any extras laying around, send them to me. And other than that, no, it's been a great week. All I'm thinking now is drag racing. But I'll do an update on the shop and I'll be doing a video once we pull the trigger and get the lift in and get it up and running. We'll do a video on it. And what?
Do you have all versions of California plates?
All versions. I don't know there was different versions.
Neither.
I have I have California plates that came off of Kenny and Presley's vehicles when they came back 2 years ago out of the Navy, and they switched back to Oklahoma deals. I didn't know there's different versions. I mean, Oklahoma now has turned into red. I like the blue ones.
I like the red ones.
But Oklahoma changed their colors last year.
Yeah,
last year. So, I mean, if there's different ones, I never lived in Oklahoma. I've been there once. California. I've been there once. And that was enough.
Also, let's see. You should start a GoFundMe for a gear vendor unit.
I don't think I get much money on that deal.
Yes, about 7 different ones right now. Holy crap!
Wow.
Guy selling off Hauser valve covers for $200. Good deal.
Offenhauser valve covers?
Not familiar with them. They're used in great shape.
It depends on if you like them. I mean, the market is the market. I mean, that's kind of things like that is kind of things I do trading for. I try to make a deal. If he needs something that I got, I try to make a deal for. That's stuff like that. And then I have friends that just end up finding stuff in the closet or in the garage they didn't realize they had, and they ask me if I want it, and they'll bring it over and give it to me. Things like that. I mean, that's the great thing about the hot rod community. Like Project Headquarters. I told him I needed a hood, a helmet, and he said, "I'll send you one. I got extras." I mean, there's no other community like this. I mean, how many times you think back in the day when we were drag racing, somebody needed a part, needed a this, needed that everybody would just come wagons. Even if you're running against the guy the next round, you would help him get up and running. That's the community,
Cruisin says, how much does holding your camera and asking questions pay? LOL.
What?
How much does holding your camera and asking questions pay? LOL.
On the lives, really nothing. I think I make like $1.50 every live.
Yeah.
That's how much I make for doing this. But I look forward all week to doing this. It isn't about for the lives. It isn't about the money. It's about the connecting with you guys in the community. And answering questions, things like that. But no, I think I average about $1.45, $1.55 an episode for an hour of a live. That's what I'm thinking about going to doing a podcast instead, because the film.
Hey, I was teasing the camera lady. Hey, now.
Oh. But she gets paid every day for my everlasting love, and appreciation, and we're not Ted Lasso. Yeah. Anyways, but you guys need to talk to her. See, she hates being on camera. I caught her on camera for this new video, but she hates being on camera.
I do.
I asked her to sit beside me and do this, with a tablet. And she's like, no. No, my place is off camera.
That's right.
I'm regular the boys. I'm off camera. You handle this.
Yep.
She don't mind talking. She just doesn't like showing.
That's right.
Yep. Her
great
beautiful,
answer.
wonderful face. She doesn't like showing hers.
Great answer, Buck. Vice Grip Garage is such a good channel. You two should get together.
Well, yeah, he doesn't spend a lot of time helping out the little guys. I did.
He does do his own little thing.
He does his own little thing. He doesn't have a lot of time. He's gotten so big, he has no time for anything extra. I mean, nothing. He's on the road all the time, and then he has a television show. I don't know if he'll probably get another, and he does commercials and what?
LOL from experience. If you bring your wife on lives, you get more views.
I agree. I agree, but hey, I can't convince her. And if I can't convince her after 35 years, I don't think you guys can. But no, it's I've had a couple. I mean, I've met like Old Man's Garage, Bill Hoskins. I met him at PRI in 24. Kind of bumped into him. I met Ryan Mitchell, Casey Max. I met the street racing guys. I met a whole bunch of them at PRI in 24, which I'm probably going back in 27. No, it's 25. No, it's 24.
Yeah, it's 24. Because you were going to go this year, but you decided to go to SEMA this year.
SEMA this year, yeah. And I'll run into people then. But I mean, I actually had at PRI, I had Asian from Street Outlaws basically almost run up on me, and actually recognized me and said, "Well, hey, Uncle Buck, I love your stuff. You're doing great." And he had a handler with him, and off they went. Because Farm Truck's truck was there at PRI. That it was in the melling booth or something. But he took his time out to look me straight in the eye, and he's a little guy, and said, "Love your stuff. You're doing a great job. Keep it up." And he walked, and have a great day, and walked off. It was surreal. It was really weird, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna have the same kind of reaction at maybe at SEMA. SEMA's pretty big, probably not.
Yeah.
You'd like to be there's sometimes you would like to be a fly on the wall. There's sometimes you would like to be able just to go and just enjoy.
Yeah.
But I also enjoy the interaction too. I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a kid. We were coming back from Fayetteville on the highway. We had a kid pull up beside us, and he's waving everything. When I drive, I'm like, this.
Focus.
I'm not looking here. I'm looking here. Christine's by my side. She says, "Hey, what's this?" And I look over, and he's got his phone out. He says, "Is this you? Is this you?" yeah, it's me. That's so cool. And off they go, you know, I mean, things like that. I get, you know, and then he messaged me that next day. He said, yeah, I was the kid from the highway. You know, I subscribed, you know, love your stuff. Having a great time. You know, I mean, it's a lot of fun. It can be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I even like it when they tell me that I do dumb stuff. Like I'm doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong. There's always those couch, those couch jockeys, you know, that, you know, you look at them, they have one subscriber, you know, they've been on YouTube for 20 years, you know, but they know exactly, they know. Doesn't bother me a bit, actually, because
let's see. Exit says, I like watching Uncle Tony's Garage too, but lately his content has been weak.
Well, Tony's getting old.
Cruisin says they're all normal guys. Honestly, I've been in a whatever VGG is. Sorry.
Well,
Fiber pole barn, Rusted Valley Restorers videos,
Yeah.
and I'm nobody compared to them. LOL.
Yeah. Now, like back in the early 2000s when we were doing the bracket racing series and stuff, we run at Thunder Valley in Oklahoma City many times, and I've run farm truck bracket racing. I'd met them back then. You know, they're the same guys now that they were then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, they got handlers and they got agents and stuff like that, but I mean, they are still the same people in here, you know, that they were then. I mean, he was a nice guy then.
Thank you, Cruisin. Sorry, it's Vice Grip Garage. Hello.
Vice Grip Garage.
Oh, VGG.
Okay. Yeah, we just watched it the other night. Yeah.
I know. It's pretty bad.
I gotta admit, I mean, we've gotten to where like we look forward to like Old Man's Garage. I mean, his videography, his
yeah, if you have a drone,
his shots with his drone are just epic. I mean, they're just fun to watch. It's like on anything Taylor Sheridan, he always finds the shots to hit where you just go, God, that's beautiful, you know. And old Bill Hoskins, and he really knows how to do his stuff.
Maybe you need to learn how to work a drone.
I have a neighbor that does drones. I mean, he could probably teach me. You know, he probably has little ones that could do. But I mean, it's also you're also putting another wrench in the works of your time. You know, like, I mean, I'm glad you guys were all there to take video of me on the line, you know, and I set up the camera on the dash, you know, and everything. But I didn't have a lot of time to talk.
No.
You know, and if I was running a drone, I'd had less time to talk. You know, it's
Cruisin says, I was supposed to be in the last episode of Hot Rod Garage TV show, but they never released it. Not sure why.
Discovery Channel.
Drones are cool, but he's right. Takes a lot more editing effort.
Yeah, a ton. Yeah, a ton. And it's like, I'm almost to the point now. Like today, I did editing on the video from the drag strip today, and it was 3.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's uploaded now, and I still ain't decided on the thumbnail. And then you got to design the thumbnail, and you got to, you know, put all the wording in there and all that kind of good stuff. And it can be time consuming. I mean, sooner or later, it's going to be where I'm going to have to like hire it out to send them all kinds of raw footage, let them put it together. Because once the lift goes in, then Uncle Buck's Garage goes.
Well, and that's when you say, "Hey, Presley."
Well, yeah, but she also has the boys all day long, you know.
Baller says we appreciate you taking the time.
No, I really do enjoy it. I mean, think about it. It's the only job I've ever had that's paid me to build hot rods. That's it. That's the skinny of the whole deal. And it wasn't the reason why I turned the camera on. I wanted to turn the camera on because I wanted my face out there so that my grandchildren and their grandchildren can look me up. Because I don't have hardly, I mean, when my dad passed, the day that we got my first daughter's ultrasound, we never got to meet her. That's when my dad passed. And we have little to no video of him. You know, he knew he had cancer. He made audio tapes, cassettes, about 6 or 7 of them, you know, just day to day, just talking about his memories and stuff like that. And we have that. We all cherish it. Matter of fact, we need to get that swapped over to DVD before the tapes go bad. But this I think of as my legacy for my children and their children and their children's, because I don't think the internet's going anywhere. So the more I could get out there, you know, the more I can help the younger people. I mean, I get messages every day from younger people like, I always want to know how to do this, you know, because you go bit by bit by bit by bit, exactly how to do this. You walked me right through it. It was great. I really appreciate it. Those sort of things. That's what makes it all worth it. You know, and if I can keep the lights on and build hot rods, you know, and teach and pass it on, hey, it's a win-win-win-win. What time is it?
8:11.
You know what sucks? Even though my face got sunburned, my lips did too. It feels like I have what is that? Chaplin?
Let's see. I-270 says, question: are you familiar with Skip White Performance? Only asking to get my get an opinion on they. I have a small block I'm interested in. Also, thank you for the videos. I'm a fan.
Skip White Performance. That rings a bell, but I don't know exactly if I know exactly who it is. I've heard the name. I don't know. I don't think I know anything about it, but I've heard the name. But I don't have an opinion.
Exit says, one day your channel is going to go so big, yes, regulars are going to have to send you super chats to get your attention, LOL.
No. No, super chat would be great. I you know, those are great, you know. But no, it's going to get big enough, I think, that, yeah, I'm going to need to turn this into a live podcast, you know, and be able to bring people in or do remote, like me do it here and somebody be in Timbuktu and be able to do it together, split screen, that sort of thing. But I really would like to stay just with the family for a long time. I mean, I know there's probably you guys out there that don't have good relationships with your kids, but I truly enjoy having them around. You know, I mean, they're the reason for doing everything, you know, I mean, and so I don't want to lose that. Not with them, not with you, you know, if I could ever get you on camera.
Nope, not going to happen.
She's going to get on camera.
The only way I'll be on camera is if you accidentally come across me. That's it.
I snuck her in a couple of times for the one on Saturday.
Okay, on that note, I'm leaving.
Why? I haven't finished my sweet tea. No, okay. All right. Yep. And tomorrow's the 1st, and I got to be at the office early. What?
Get the GoFundMe for Christina on film.
But yeah, I got to be up early. I got to be at the office because first of the month I always have to change all the computers and do a bunch of work before I can get the doors open in the morning before my customers show up. So remember, if you guys are doing any buying from JEGGS or Summit, go through the links. It helps out the channel. Remember, if you guys need any work, give Miss Santana an email, a text. That she has a website, the YouTube channel, and the drag strip is going to continue this class. So if you guys got a couple months, you know, all you local guys, even if you go on, I got reached out to by a gentleman out of McAllister today. And he's like 2 hours away and he's thinking about coming and, you know, what?
Double your money if you can convince your wife to sit beside you, ask questions. No. Check out Inevitable Gym. That's what they do.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Anyways, sooner or later she'll get more comfortable around it. But I mean,
Yeah.
right now she you know, she's the one that always took the pictures and never was in the pictures.
That's right.
You know, so yeah, that's
I
what we're
know.
dealing with. But
I know. We'll go here in a minute.
yeah, the dogs are bugging us to go out too. And there's also we have the whole neighborhood is all dogs. And we have this one cat that loves to walk in front of every door in the neighborhood and get all the dogs riled up, including the beagles in the backyard.
Oh, and we got a rabbit.
Yeah, and we got a rabbit in the yard. The little Miss Huntress there, she's been after this rabbit for a week. And Christina's like, we got a rabbit in the yard. We're about to do the garden. I said, well, those son of a bitch is going to eat all the lettuce. You know, and all the good stuff, you know. So that explains why the garden wasn't very good last year.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Yeah, explains a lot.
Fine.
So
okay,
I might have to reach out there with the 22 and get him. But we'll see you guys next week. I appreciate all of you. Peace.
Okay, fine. You